Wow, Penguinz is the villain, the bad guy. I hate Moist Critical! At least that's what I would say if I was a demented moron who spent half of his life just sitting there on Twitter complaining about anything and everything that he could type an entire essay about without anyone relatively wanting to read it or let alone care. Speaking of which, this is the main thing that has gotten the Penguins of Madagascar under fire on the internet for the time being. Honestly, it's really dumb, honestly crazy, and I just can't believe the lack of common sense that a lot of people actually have. You know, one of Hassan's editors was just trying to double down and stomp on Kick as a brand in his Tims. Really just trying to make Kick look down bad and make it look like some kind of illegal gambling website, with them saying, sorry, but if he explained to you how Kick is funneling viewers into gambling on Stake when the website was created by Stake and the top sponsored gambling streamers after Twitch banned slots, you're a moron. Or you get it and you're being paid enough to pretend you don't. And so Penguins of Madagascar would disagree with this and get a lot of hate for what he's saying, which actually does not make a lot of sense to me right now because, you know, the entirety of Kick does not function on gambling, right? It may have a gambling background. It may have people who used to gamble that actually made it a fucking avenue to make content on. But outside of that, no one is having a gun to their head, forcing them to gamble for the sake of anyone's entertainment on Kick. It just gives you another option to do that if you want to make content on that, making it more of an open-ended way of live streaming. Now, should Kick get shit on for that? No, not really, because you don't have to gamble to use that fucking platform. I've seen people like Sneeko on the platform. I've seen Leafy on the platform. Do they gamble? No. All you have to do is just sit in front of a fucking mic and maintain viewers. I don't know why Hassan's editor is just being a total fucking nitwit about this entire thing, trying to be in like a morally conscious area, trying to shit on Kick. And Penguinz was more or less pointing out the fucking inconsistency in what this guy's saying and the logic, and basically breaking it down. Basically showing the guy you're hating on the platform when the platform isn't really that guilty of whatever the fuck you're talking about. So Kick is gonna get you to gamble on Stake. I don't get that shit at all. And you know, I honestly agree with Moist here because he's talking about how Stake is not being advertised on the website. Maybe if it was being advertised on the website, that would make sense, which is actually true. How are they actually pulling people from Kick to get onto Stake? Is it just because they're gambling as a whole? I don't think so, because people are going to gamble and not gamble on Stake regardless. And you know, Charlie points this out with what he's saying because he's talking about how Twitch has a slots and casinos category, which it does, and it also advertises gambling services, which is what Hassan's editor is trying to morally shit on. And if Kick is going to be so bad as to funnel viewers onto Stake, which it's not, which is the point that Penguinz is making, then following that same logic, Twitch would be bad for funneling people into Amazon's service. And so he's trying to show Hassan's editor what he's saying. Like, if you're gonna shit on Kick for funneling people into Stake, then you should be on the same fucking ground and the same page and shit on Twitch for funneling people into Amazon. I mean, like, if Hassan's editor just doesn't like Kick, he can say he doesn't like Kick. That is perfectly fine. But it's kind of funny for Hassan's editor to take this moment to shit on Kick when Hassan says he would never use the website. So it makes you think, is he literally just trying to shit on Kick because Hassan doesn't like it? Because if he was genuinely trying to spit on Kick for some morally conscious decision, just like what Critical's saying, he should be shitting on Twitch too, which makes a lot of sense. That's just a funny ass thing to point out though. Hassan's editor shitting on Kick, and this is a platform that Hassan chooses not to stream on. Who would have thought? Also guys, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to make a lot more content. Also, watch the video until the end. I would appreciate you guys listening to everything that I have to say. I'm not gonna hold you. Penguinz of Madagascar really goes in on Hassan's editor here. Your screenshot literally shows what I mean. Stake isn't on the site until you go into that gambling category, so I don't know what point you're making. Very weird to reduce Amazon to a site to buy laundry detergent when it is one of the most evil corporations openly operating today, but I guess that doesn't matter to you in this case because you can buy things from them. Your statement of where does the money for the contract come from is laughable when Twitch and Amazon's contract money isn't coming from a good place either. So yes, it's really funny how Hassan's editor tries to poke fun at Kick for morals, but then again, has nothing to say about Twitch or the other platforms that Hassan streams on. It's literally money made on the corpses of their workers in the decades of human rights violations. So the exclusive contracts myself, your boss, and every other Twitch streamer signed aren't morally clean either. A child being served a Twitch ad saying, buy Amazon Prime to earn a free sub to support your favorite streamer and all these other benefits is also horrible, because it's funneling your audience into their ecosystem under the belief that it's a good thing because it's helping the creator they like. Kick doesn't have ads like these at the moment. Gamble $20 a month on stake to earn a free sub to support your favorite streamer. And you know, Penguinz is quoting this because this is literally the same shit that Twitch does. So if Hassan's editor is gonna harp on Kick, he better harp on the other platforms for being immoral as well. And at least that's if Hassan's editor really even gives a fuck about the morality of what's being said, rather than just trying to say some shit and upstage morality for some fucking brownie points. But it might be in the future, who knows. It is horrible if a kid sees their favorite streamer gambling and promoting casinos, and if the platform pushes that, then obviously it's a bad thing. Kick understandably deserves criticism. I'm just confused on why you're all of a sudden minimizing the very real evil that Twitch peddles and making it seem like it's somehow a morally pure platform to stream on, whereas everyone on Kick is a bad person. And yeah, it's exactly like I was saying from earlier on in this video. I think I understood what Penguinz was saying pretty well. But then again, Hassan's editor and all these other creators could just be trying to keep Twitch alive because they know that when Twitch is gone, they have nothing, and they're not really going to be able to build up their audiences again because they're going to lose relevance. So maybe that's a way and reason as to why everyone is trying to shit on Kick now, because they're afraid that if Twitch goes, they're going to lose their jobs. And XQC actually did say that same thing when it came to people hating on his Kick contract. Hassan's editor responds to everything that Critical is saying by saying, genuinely impressive, you can put into words everything wrong with Amazon exploiting consumers and workers in the same tweet. Say Stake's website is better for viewers because it doesn't have ads. I'm convinced, but you should tell the owners of Kick. And so the editor of Hour takes this picture of a Kick statement highlighting these words. Kick's gaming vision is to be the leading content provider in the gambling industry. I don't know, I guess? Nah, I don't really feel like this really reinforces Hassan's editor's point, because it says Kick Gaming. That just kind of doesn't really, I don't know. Breaking it apart, it's kind of just like saying, hey, we all want you to gamble and we all want you to throw your money away, because it says the leading content provider in gambling industry. See, making gambling content and then telling people, hey, go out and spend all your fucking money to gamble are two different things if you want to ask me. And now, depending on how people are going to go about getting into gambling, I feel like at that point, it's kind of just a coin flip, because then again, you know, people are going to watch these streams, but for all we know, they might just watch them because they find them entertaining and not actually gamble. Who honestly knows? But I think the very fact that Kick is not a gambling only platform kind of goes to show that, hey, this isn't as scummy as what you're making it out to be, especially when Kick is just offering a niche that wasn't being offered on other platforms, which is the main reason why other people are going to use it. So is that something that really ties into the morality of Kick, or is it more or less the morality of the viewers at some point? All the finger pointing coming from Hassan's editor is just crazy if you ask me. And then Penguinz finally ends it off with, are you even reading my tweets? I mentioned streaming contracts in general being better for viewers, so streamers don't keep asking for their viewers' money. They could turn off donations and subs if streaming contracts become more normalized. You aren't actually even engaging with anything I'm saying, and instead are fighting a ghost of words you put in my mouth. The ads mention I made is how Kick is currently not shoving their parent company's evil down the throats of viewers on the platform, whereas that is Twitch's backbone. You know, shoving corporate bullshit down our faces, really not even just filtering, just forcing it on us. So I get it. I get exactly what he's trying to say. Promoting Amazon Prime benefits and services You seem so willing to excuse the fact that many Twitch streamers, myself included, as well as your favorite streamers, have accepted contract money from a company that has literally killed their workers and violated humans' rights for decades. That evil and the workers' suffering is not somehow less meaningful or more excusable than what Stake does. They are both bad. This is you choosing what you believe is the lesser of the evils, which is fine, but I don't get why you're taking a moral high ground and calling everyone else bad on the other platforms, since Twitch is not morally good to begin with. That Kick screenshot is exactly what I mean when I say if Kick pushes gambling, then it's horrible. If the goal is to create gambling addicts, then obviously it's unforgivable. Currently, it is not doing that. There's no ads, state calls to action, or anything outside of the gambling category. If a streamer isn't gambling, then no viewers get exposed to Stake, since it is all isolated to one specific category right now, just like Twitch. And yeah, see, that's what I was saying as well, because, you know, if they're making the content for gambling, is that really going to make people gamble? Are they making money off the gambling industry? If you want to play eels and escalators to actually say yes to that point, I guess so. But they are not saying, hey, go gamble today. That's completely different from just allowing people to gamble and do what they want on their own personal streams. Gambling being the top category isn't surprising, since the first adopters were gambling streamers, so obviously it's their most popular. It doesn't seem like foul play of forcing it to the top. Same way the 3 gambling categories on Twitch are always top 20. It's not forcing those categories on Twitch. They're just there because of the viewer numbers being high, which makes it high on the featured list. I don't understand this impression you have of me trying to appeal to Kick executives when I was literally one of the first people to call out the Kick and Stake connection on launch. So this is a surprisingly hostile response. Twitch creates gambling addicts too through the same category Kick does. They are both bad, and we shouldn't be giving Twitch a pass, and I don't agree with labeling everyone on Kick as bad people. And yeah, this is what I was saying too as well. Kick went out of its way to offer a service that other people were not trying to allow content creators to do, so people are going to go to Kick for that niche. And then Twitch also provides something along these same lines, maybe not as extreme, but the fact that it's still doing the same things that Kick is doing is just ridiculous. Moist had a good point. I honestly don't see how anyone could be mad about this. And yeah, wow, that was a shit show. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Kick is about to rule the world. I'm gonna see y'all later.